Hey friends, it's Josh Yeager, out on a walk with Dodger, thinking about trust and estate stuff. I wanted to share with you today what I call the 10-20-30 problem. There are 10 million baby boomers in California. That's the 10. Those baby boomers control or hold about $20 trillion of assets. That's the 20. And within the next 30 years, pretty much all of them, those baby boomers will be dead. So there's 10 million trusts or estates to settle over the next 30 years by the trust and estates community. Now, here's the problem. There's only about 5,000 active trust and estates attorneys practicing in California. So there's something of a supply and demand problem. You might have found that if you wanted to get your trust updated, amended. Something was written in 2008, and Dad got sick, and we thought we ought to have somebody review this. Drafting attorney isn't around because why? He was a baby boomer, and he has a right to retire, and elected to do so. So that's the supply-demand problem. Another problem is most of my colleagues in the trust and estates community are spending most of their time drafting trust documents. That's really where the demand is right now, with mom and dad saying, hey, we need to get an update. It's been a lot of years. We should get in there and have the estate plan updated. So most trust and estates attorneys mostly focus on the planning process, the drafting or amending or restating of estate plans, which further limits the number of legal professionals that are available to help the eldest daughter settle these estates. Now, for the most part, the estate settlement process isn't terribly complex. There's just a lot of to-do items, a lot of checklist items that have to be done. And usually it takes a long time because many of those checklist items are not done by the attorneys, but the attorney's staff, their paralegals and other administrative staff, with oversight by the attorney. Dodger, don't go by the cliff. And that legal staff is really busy working on drafting and amending trust documents. So we're kind of in a little bind here. But Anados Law has been developed to meet that need. Our objective is to figure out a way to settle trusts and estates twice as fast at half the cost with lower risk to the successor trustee, the eldest daughter. And there's a number of tips and tricks we use to do that. One of them is the old admonition, what gets measured gets done. So if it's written down, if there's a commitment as to time, my experience has been it gets done. And if there isn't a commitment as to time, it tends to slip. So that's the one thing. The other thing is to meet frequently with the successor trustee. I don't think it's a good practice to meet once a month or every 6 weeks with the successor trustee. I think it's better to meet weekly. Let's take these big long meetings and break them into really short 15-minute. So what are you going to get done this week? And what am I going to get done this week? Now, the cumulative number of hours for these meetings is the same over the administration. I just think it's better to have fewer quick meetings identifying next steps and focus areas than having long delays between meetings where there's a lot of a longer agenda item and more administrative task to find. I think also it's good practice to have the fee paid for the settlement be fixed so that there isn't an incentive by the professionals involved to take too long. Because if you're getting paid hourly to do a project, there isn't any financial incentive to get that project done. But if instead you have a fixed fee agreement where you're getting paid $5,000 to get the project done, trust me, there's an incentive to get it done quick because you're not penalized for your efficiency then. So those are a couple of practices that we've adopted at Anados Law. We do trust and estate settlement. We focus on the mass market, the estates with net worths of $10 million and less. We think we add value by settling these estates twice as fast at half the cost with lower risk to the successor trustee. And we do it by aligning our financial interest and the beneficiaries and trustees' financial interest by charging fixed fees so that we get paid whether it's done quickly or slowly. And trust me, we have an incentive to get it done quickly because we want to make more money. And I think that's what beneficiaries want. They want their check faster rather than slower. So that's about it.